right, if you're connecting now, we're going to table questions to the end, but if you're a Zoom expert, like I know so many of you are, you'll see in the chat box an ability to ask questions, raise hands. I'm not going to be able to check the questions unless somebody on the New Era team joins and asks them, but I will be reviewing them at the end of the presentation, and I'll stay on as long as required. And I was just given the green light to kick this off. So we're going to get started now. So I wanted to thank everybody, especially New Era, for organizing this and for you all to take time out of your busy schedules, from the practice, from friends, from family, to learn how to elevate your practice to new levels, and for the New Era team for organizing this and giving us some really nice learning objectives. I promise you, after the hour or so together, you're going to have ways and solutions to advance and upgrade your protocols. So there's some major learning objectives that were requested based on all your input. And again, we'll do the questions at the end. But if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, whether you're on live or watching the recording, my name is Michael Antonelli. I am the founder and CEO of Healthgevity, one of the proud partners of New Era, serving nutraceuticals, advanced nutraceuticals, all over Puerto Rico. So for those that are new to Healthgevity, we are organizing and delivering really unique, purposeful nutraceuticals that are harnessing various points of the hallmarks of aging. So this is the hallmark of aging wheel. And if this is new to you, the goal is to modulate one or more with every formula we bring to market. So we have a really unique group of researchers, frontline providers, experts on the front line that are collaborating to translate the latest research into finished formulations to optimize you and your patient's health span, regardless of where you are in your health journey. So Healthgevity has solutions from visit number 1, year 2 into the wellness plan, and so forth. But it's all about aging gracefully, maximizing health span, and really moving the needle. Practitioners will turn to Healthgevity when they need to make a difference in a protocol, especially on those tricky cases that nothing seems to be working or that patients reached a plateau. For those looking for advanced discussion, we have the Healthgevity Institute. There's over 20 hours of different topics that we're tackling with leading experts. You'll see on the right here some of those topics that we're addressing, and on the left, some of our advisory board and featured facilitators. So it's all about that peer-to-peer mentorship. We take education very seriously in order to make the biggest difference in the partnership we have with you all. So let's talk about our time together. There were 5 big learning objectives that I was tasked to deliver this evening. Number 1, we're going to talk about ways to really help your patients suffering from leaky gut or intestinal permeability, and even more. Number 2, we're going to talk about a brand new peptide. This is the first time we've lectured about a breakthrough peptide for sleep. So really exciting innovation that's available right now through New Era. And number 3 and 4, we're going to group together. So we're going to talk about the role of NAD+, maintaining optimal levels, why it's so important, and the role of certain precursors to make sustainable NAD production. So if you were in the room or watching live when I was down with you all at the Longevity Conference, this was the topic I was given to hit on, but we're going to do a little catch-up, a little follow-up, and a refresher for those that are on this webinar. And then last but not least, we're redefining the role of DIM, new research, new innovations to elevate anytime you are utilizing DIM in your practice. So let's get started. Learning objective number 1 is what we're going to start with, and this is going to be definitely a game changer. We're going to introduce 2 major peptides that are primed to make a huge difference in your practice immediately. So for those that are new to peptides, as of today are chains of amino acids ranging from 2 to 40 amino acids. If I was doing this webinar a few years ago, it was actually a different definition. The FDA has shortened it to 40 amino acids. It can be natural, bioidentical, or altered or synthetic. And some of them can be over the counter as a nutritional supplement. There's peptides that are available through New Era as a 503A, collagen peptides if you've done that, and also topical. So we're going to hit on oral tonight, but peptides can come as injection, nasal spray, topical, and oral, and even a strip. So great advantages on why peptides are the biggest craze. It's hard to go to a continued medical conference, a biohacking conference, listen to a podcast, go on Reddit, and not have peptides be part of the discussion. Now, part of this is the safety profile of peptides. So we're talking about well-tolerated, minimal side effects, high safety profile, and clinical advancing. So the big knock years ago was peptides had to be injected. That's now, for the large part, a myth for certain peptides. A big knock on peptides was, where's the human studies? That also is starting to gain more momentum with publications and human data to show the advancements many of these peptides are making. So we're also going to hit on tonight the role of artificial intelligence in peptide discovery, and that's a really exciting area. But in honing in on what we are experts in, and that's oral utilization and administration of peptides, there's some major benefits. At Healthgevity, it's all about enhancing convenience and compliance. That's how we get great results, but it's also about utilizing and seeking breakthrough technology to improve and enhance the bioavailability and utilization of certain peptides. And again, the ease of use at home, especially those peptides that you have options that need daily injections, that is tough for some patients. Some patients don't want needles, and obviously the reduction of side effects and also desensitizing the body. So oral is where there's been a lot of attention and a lot of eyes on the difference it's making clinically. So we're going to hit on a lot of things. I know your dispensaries already have a lot happening, both on a prescription and an over-the-counter standpoint. So I'd like to start by grouping peptides into 3 phases of care. Phase number 1, foundational healing. Number 2, enhanced health. And then phase number 3, optimized performance. What we're talking about during our time together is going to be things you're seeing in your practice every single day. We want to do our part as being one of your partners to give you weapons within your toolbox that are designed to make a great difference and a sustained difference. We're going to start with BPC 157, one of my favorite, but certainly one of the most well-known. Even in the compounding pharmacy days, right, that they were offering BPC 157 by injection and oral. It was one of the first peptides delivered as an oral option. It was discovered in 1993. It's a 15 amino acid chain discovered from isolated gastric juice. Obviously, what we're utilizing isn't actual human gastric juice, just for those wondering, but these are mimetics of exact chains of what's occurring within our body. So what's really unique here is that if you go into PubMed right now, and please don't, let's stay focused. I got a lot of slides here, but what you're going to see is hundreds of articles, mainly animal studies, looking at wide range utilization of BPC 157. And in preparation of our time this evening, I just highlighted a breakthrough study. This was just published a few weeks ago, really showcasing the wide range of use that BPC 157 is doing in the body. Now, what's great about this peptide is it works systemically in the body. So you may be giving it for one area and you'll see this domino or trickle effect of other areas being resolved and enhanced healing. We'll talk about what's making this peptide so useful in such a wide range of conditions, but also what patients stand to benefit the most. So in looking at some of these mechanisms of action, you're going to see again wide range: immune modulating, cytoprotective, modulating nitric oxide, reducing neuroinflammation. This is an incredible peptide. And it's also why it's referred to as the Swiss Army knife of peptides. Now, this is something, again, we hit on. It works systemically. When we talk about what patient care, what this is doing, think of this as the Roomba vacuum, that robotic vacuum that's moving around the floor if you have one, or if you know what I'm talking about. And if there's something on the floor to pick up, this is the peptide that's going to pick it up, right? This is the Roomba-like effect. If there's nothing for the Roomba to pick up in that area, it continues the move, searching for things to clean. That is what this peptide's doing in the body, searching for having the body better equipped to respond, to repair, to regenerate. So some common uses is we'll see the healing and regenerative properties, GI, neuroprotective, immune, and heart. But now let's just take a step back and say, what do I do? I'm in the practice now, tomorrow morning. I want to use this peptide. Give me some big buckets of patient care. That's what we have here. Bucket number 1, athletes and active individuals. This is a peptide that's going to accelerate recovery, support inflammation, so it's a healthier response, and enhance joint mobility. So that means recovering more efficiently, staying healthy, staying on the field, getting back to the gym, more reps, more sets. Number 2, individuals with digestive disorders. Now, the low-hanging fruit here is any patient on a PPI. So we think about promoting gut lining repair, supporting microbiome balance, reducing inflammation in the gut wall. This does wonders for any of your gut dysfunction patients. Bucket number 3, people recovering from injuries and/or surgeries and/or bone fractures. And so this is a peptide you could do pre or post surgery. You could scale it up and do a loading dose in an acute injury setting. And we've even had many providers tell us that they've seen this peptide firsthand double the speed of a broken bone or a fracture. Number 4, those struggling with chronic inflammation or autoimmune conditions. This is a great peptide for helping support the resolution of inflammation, healthier levels of inflammation. As we know, inflammation's that backbone of so much chronic disease in the practice. So BPC is one you could tap into to help provide a more natural supportive option. And last but not least, individuals interested in longevity and neuroprotection. So it is hard to, again, go to a longevity conference, a biohacking conference, and not have at least one or more of the topics and/or speakers talk about the role of this peptide in this area. So it will help with the gut-brain axis, and obviously anything tied back to health span optimization is going to advance and support healthy aging. Now, what separates Healtgevity's BPC-157 and many of our peptides is an absorption enhancer, a permeability enhancer to help protect the peptide so it's not destroyed before it gets to where it's intended. So saccharosate sodium, the abbreviation is SNAC, is a really unique ingredient that we layer in to be the guard, the protector of any peptide it's delivered with. This is a generally regarded safe by the FDA, so it can be used in nutritional supplements. It's there to buffer the pH around it and help chaperone the peptide for a successful delivery. You might be familiar with saccharosate sodium on the GLP-1 side in helping transform injectable GLP-1s into an oral option that is utilizing high-dose saccharosate sodium. So here's the FDA stamp of approval with its utilization in dietary supplements. And we also, as part of the secret sauce, have a unique bioactive, which is called PEA. PEA is classified as a specialized pro-resolving lipid signaling molecule. Over 600 publications confirming that it puts the body in a better position to respond to elevations of pain and inflammation. So by putting it in with BPC, you will front load its utilization. It works quicker, improves compliance to allow BPC to do what it does so well. So in bringing it all together, PEA, great for mast cell. It's a PPAR agonist. It's great in the brain, great in the gut, great in the musculoskeletal system. Saccharosate sodium, BPC-157, PEA is a really nice combination for so many of your patients. So with these, we have BPC as a standalone with the SNAC, and then we have the PEA option. The PEA option also comes in a 30-serving bottle. And for those dealing with esophagus issues or upper GI, yes, you can open up the capsule and apply it directly in the mouth and/or swallow the second capsule to really hit on a robust area within the gastrointestinal tract. Next, we're going to talk about another peptide, KPV. It is a tripeptide. Some will refer to it as a bioregulator. This packs a lot of punch and very common to be utilized in combination with BPC-157 because it's a similar patient benefit model. So when we think about, again, how do we help the body as far as antifungal, antimicrobial, SIBO, candida, and pain? This is the peptide for you. So immune and inflammation modulation, mast cell, you're going to see this continue to come up, lowering gut inflammation, enhancing tight junction function, and really useful for LPS, zonulin, and much more. Here's direct combination of KPV versus biologics that you have access to, and we're seeing KPV outperform or go head-to-head with prescription antifungals, especially when dealing with candida. So we have KPV with PEA, with the saccharosate sodium as another tool within the box that you can be tapping into. But based on popular requests from many of your providers, we have a combination, the trifecta, BPC stacked with KPV, stacked with PEA, with the absorption enhancing powers, saccharosate sodium. That right there is the most popular version, but obviously wanting to personalize the protocol depending on where your patient's falling in their health journey, you have 3 options of BPC 157 powered formulas. Moving to our next phase of learning objectives, we are now going to dive into the world of sleep. This is an area where there's a lot of data coming in the role of sleep, deep sleep at the right amounts, and what it does to transforming the outcome that so many of you are seeking, the connection of sleep and healthy aging, and the lymphatic system, and where we're regenerating at our greatest. So we're going to dive into a breakthrough new peptide that we are the first in the world with. So we're going to talk about the role of artificial intelligence in peptide discovery. We have organized a long-standing research collaboration with an incredible group in Ireland called Noritas. This is a group of researchers, PhDs, mathematicians. They've developed what they have called the magnifier. This magnifier to date has cataloged and discovered over 8 million peptides naturally occurring in nature, in our food, in our vegetables, fruit, naturally occurring in nature, but at very low amounts. What they're able to do is identify a target, and like similar to ChatGPT, it goes through their library of peptides to identify which peptides they should be looking at more closer. They then can identify or get rid of peptides that may not be orally bioavailable, and eventually from 8 million to a few hundred to a few dozen will identify the peptides that should go to the next phase of clinical evaluation. What we're going to talk about is the peptide matrix that is their go-to-market with a human study behind it for sleep. And that's called PeptiSleep. This is a 250 milligram dose. It is brown rice derived peptides designed not only to help with cortisol modulation before bed, but extending every phase of sleep without the melatonin-like grogginess the next morning. So really, really unique because of its wide action, sleep onset, sleep maintenance, deep and REM sleep, and morning alertness. This checked all the boxes of what we were looking for in evaluating the latest peptide to bring out to you. So what we saw here, and this is a study done in Australia utilizing the Oura Ring at a 250 milligram dose, 30 minutes before bed, we really saw, when I saw some of the mechanisms here, right, phases of sleep, total sleep time, the sleep biometrics. So again, helping the body get to sleep and then extending every phase of sleep. Now, what was really important here was also to have the body less reliant on melatonin-based supplements. There's just a handful of patients that don't do well with melatonin. They want to avoid it. So that was also really, really important. But the next was, what does that supporting cast look like when you look at a patient that there's multiple issues going on, whether it's getting to sleep, staying asleep, or waking up feeling refreshed. So we were very purposeful with our evaluation clinical team to handpick the other ingredients at the right levels. So again, looking at the Oura Ring, we saw the HRV score be greatly optimized, more total sleep, more deep sleep, more REM sleep. The supporting cast here in what we're calling sleepgevity is dihydrohinochiol, or DHHB, from magnolia bark. And we'll talk a little bit about each of these so you can really feel confident that you have the latest and greatest sleep solution. Helixer holy basil extract with some unique activity and human studies behind it. A really novel GABA stimulating probiotic with human data. I guess human data on everything, so I'll just say that once. Affron, which is the most studied published form of saffron, and more within this formula. So the big goals here with Sleepgevity is stress reduction, immune support, having also some anti-inflammatory pathway properties while we sleep, while we're recovering, while we're regenerating, and then that whole sleep longevity correlation. So we'll start with DHHB, dihydrohinochiol, one of my favorite ingredients. DHHB is a GABA agonist without the loss of motor function like your benzos will have. So it is going to be neuroprotective, it is going to cross the blood-brain barrier, and it works quickly without needing high doses. So we talk about GABA receptor. This is really unique because the problem that you're getting with some of these patients is they're stressed, wired, and tired. The mind's racing, so they can't get their body in the state to start the sleep process. That's what makes the DHHB in this formula work so well. Boosting GABA, activating cannabinoid receptors without a CBD or THC claim, and it's an adrenaline inhibitor, and that's going to, again, quiet the brain, the rush, and ease you, give you that natural chill pill. Also, without the loss of motor function. Again, so important because you could use this ingredient during the day as well. The second piece, or third piece I should say, is going to be the holy basil. And holy basil, over 1,000 publications, 24 clinical studies. Helixer, that is also in here, really unique mechanisms of action where we're seeing the body's response acute and chronically to stress. Study here confirming the 250 milligram dose that we have in Sleepgevity and Serenity is 100 people in this group, and outcome is that this form of holy basil demonstrated significantly great improvements in stress and sleep. The next area is GABA. GABA, some people will supplement with GABA and you'll see the data show a huge spike and crash. That's not the approach we feel is optimal. We want GABA sustained throughout the day in the levels that our bodies need. So think of the circadian rhythm here and its correlation. We have a great partnership with a startup probiotic discovery group out of MIT that's utilizing and reviewing tens of thousands of strains for therapeutic outcomes. The L-Plantirum 815, also known as LP815, was selected again over 250 million isolates, all different bacteria. This is the one that scored the best for GABA level production. A brand new study just came out, and it's completed now, confirming a dose of 30 milligrams and 50 milligrams up to 100 milligrams, right? So we're looking at all different levels of where we see the body best respond with sustained GABA levels with the stimulating probiotic. At 5 billion, this is now the new sweet spot for this probiotic for all the areas: sleep disturbance symptoms, insomnia index, anxiety, even GI issues, sleep quality, daytime alertness, mood, night sweats, quality of life. All of these areas were measured, and 5 billion is what you want on a daily basis with this probiotic. Also in here, you're going to have L-theanine, hundreds of publications confirming this incredible adaptogenic for stress. Couple points here about just the three mechanisms of action. I'm big on that, right? Dampening the effects of brain chemicals. We look at the calming mood elevated effects of L-theanine and increasing alpha brain waves. Saffron's also in here, a lot of studies. Again, this is the most studied form of saffron. Not only great for sleep, it's great for depression, especially in postmenopausal females. So this is one that is, to me, another game changer in this formula. This form of saffron, you're seeing 4 major impacts and influences. This is as publications on 14 and 28 milligrams. We have delivered 28 milligrams to have access to all of the studies conducted on the raw material side. Last but not least, you're going to see some L-tryptophan in here at 500 milligrams as another aid to help get the body re-regulating a healthy circadian rhythm and helping the body better get to sleep and better sleep quality. So daytime, you're going to see Serenity be that formula. Holy basil, L-theanine, LP815, the saffron, and a hefty dose of dihydrohinopiol at 15 milligrams. 2 capsules serving. You can split the dose up. Some of your patients are going to respond great at just 1 capsule. This comes in a 30 and a 60 through New Era, and this is great for 24/7 response. For those looking specifically for PM support, Sleepgevity is the newest introduction within the Healthgevity portfolio. You'll see the inclusion of the Pepti Sleep. You'll see the LP815 at the new 5 billion dose and a 500 milligram dose of L-tryptophan, also in a 2 capsule dose, and a 30 and 60 capsule option through New Era. So now we are going to continue our learning objectives and hit on number 3 and number 4 together, and that's all about NAD. So a couple of these will be repeat slides from those that were with me in person at the Longevity Fest, but NAD has 2 primary functions. And I will preface that injectable NAD is still incredible and should be done through a New Era. But the at-home or in-between or supportive adjunctive support should be precursors. So we're going to hit on what this all means and what does this look like. But we're going to hit on the 2 primary functions. No secret for those on here, with NAD declining with age. But it's really this repeated exposure to metabolic stressors that's depleting our bodies. So think about it, us personally, or think about some patients that come to mind. Overtraining, immune stress, sun, sedentary lifestyle, overnutrition, alcohol abuse, bad lifestyle choices, environmental factors. This is all depleting NAD. We see the therapeutic potential. This is one of the hottest areas right there with peptides is NAD, a big topic happening in the longevity circles. So the goal is all these different things that impact and support NAD production while reducing what reduces or depletes our cells of NAD. And it's all about the salvage pathway. So here again, NAD, we're not going to go because of time into all these slides because it is a repeat, but our goal here is if either you're a believer of fasting or it's not for you, caloric restriction, but it's really exercise precursors. How do we hit on CERT 1, CERT 3, CERT 6 with a lot of unique compounds that are going to help age gracefully? Oral NAD is not the answer. It needs to be injected. It needs to also be from a viable, high-quality source, which is New Era. And here's some citations for a later date just on supporting some of these claims on why oral NAD directly isn't the answer. Precursors are the oral option, injectable IV on the pharmacy side. So here's an overview of some of those precursors. We're going to hit on NMN tonight and NAD3. So this was really the first landmark study. This is 2016, really put NMN on the map and got a lot of people's attention. It showed some really unique opportunities of what NMN can do, obviously in animal models. So at that time, it was intriguing, but we needed more data. And now we have it, right? There's dozens of human studies showing the use of NMN as the ideal precursor. NR, even niacin, it at the end of the day converts into NMN, supports the salvage pathway, supports CD38, and gets into helping the body recycle and make more. So this is why our advisory group urged us to put this formula together. Very carefully selected ingredients. 1 gram of NMN. This is based on Dr. Sinclair's protocol. It's in his book, it's in papers, but 1 gram is really where you start hitting on major change in the body. But the only downside when you're dealing with these precursors at high levels is the potential to disrupt or impair methylation. So what do? We saw in the data, 2-to-1 ratio. If you're delivering 1 gram of NMN like we are, 2-to-1 ratio trimethylglycine to minimize or reduce any methylation impairment. That's what you're getting here. Pterostilbene, methylated resveratrol is in here to support the sirtuin pathways, and apigenin is in here to support the CD38. Again, it's all about the salvage pathway. That's what you're getting with NMN 1000. Now, there's also another major precursor. This may be new to you. The research group has been very selective on clinical partners that they've given access to this ingredient. We were the first practitioner brand globally with NAD3. We work directly with the researcher responsible for the discovery. NAD3 is a trio of ingredients that have multiple human studies now to confirm that it is playing offense and defense in the cell. It's identifying root cause of NAD depletion while helping the body make more, whether it's outsourcing NAD through injection and having it be utilized more, and or in combination with precursors. So this is an ingredient that we feel is a big difference maker, whether you're doing NR, NMN, or actual NAD. This is some of the studies I was talking about, 3 human studies on NAD3, especially in cardiometabolic risk factor patients, stem cell, sirtuin, all these big buckets in longevity. NAD3 has been shown to help and advance patient care forward. So deeper, when we look at some of the nutrigenomic influences of NAD3 from SIRT6, which is a big marker coming up in the longevity world, we're looking at the inflammasome connection, SOD3, and even some of the metabolic lipid markers, CD4, CD8 ratio with T cells. So NAD3 is in one of our formulas currently. And in summary, you're going to see cuparis, niacin, wasabi, and tea cream boosting NAD production, reduce NAD breakdown, and activating several longevity pathways. So great chart here on what the target is, the mechanisms of action, and the ingredient within the matrix of NAD3 and what it's doing. So what we did here is we utilize this ingredient in combination with niacinamide at 200 milligrams based on a very particular study that helped create this effect in a cardiometabolic patient. So this formula here is addressing vascular aging, NAD decline, lipids, blood pressure, circulation, endothelial glycocalyx, fibrinogen levels, spike protein in one formula, and also has the ACE inhibiting peptides all in one. So this is a great formula. If it's not on your radar, one of my favorites, but you could add the NMN 1000 in with this. You can use this on its own, and you can use it in combination with actual NAD through New Era. So as we get to our last learning objective, we're going to talk about DIM reimagined. And when we were looking at it, I've been long utilizing DIM for many years with thousands of practices. We know it's a staple in a lot of medical practices, dispensaries, but there's some bioavailability concerns, and there's some new kids on the block that help advance its utilization and advance patient outcomes. So we're going to talk about that now here. We have introduced a new formula a few months ago with the assistance of our research and clinical evaluation team. This is Daily DIM, and you're going to really get excited about what this is going to do for your protocols, I promise you, over the next couple minutes. So this is calcium diglucarate, DIM, activated sulforaphane, fulvic acid, and astragalus and ginsenoside RB1 all in one formula. So calcium diglucarate at 1 gram, really unique. We had a lot of doctors using this on its own, preventing estrogen recirculation, reducing excess estrogen buildup, supporting liver detoxification, so important to support the multiple phases of detox, especially in the liver, and also even supporting estrogen dominance. So cal diglucarate, especially at this dose, was very important to add in with DIM. So DIM at 300 milligrams per 2 capsules. So for those only need the 150, you could do a half serving, but DIM coming from the broccolis of the world, the cauliflowers. This has been something we've been using and teaching for a long time, especially those on pellet therapy. DIM is going to be one of your go-tos for sure for supporting estrogen metabolism, estrogen detox. Sulforaphane, specifically sulforaphane with the inclusion of the myrosinase enzyme, which is critical for the utilization and action of sulforaphane, and is important. So this is activated sulforaphane, trademarked activated broccoraphanin. This is going to enhance NRF2 pathways, enhance estrogen detox pathways, and also support liver detox. Estrogen, specifically the ginsenoside RB1 that this ingredient has, we have secured the exclusivity of adding this ingredient with DIM and sulforaphane. This is what's going to help improve the uptake and utilization of everything else in the formula. So estrogen, increasing absorption of anything in this formula. It's a much better useful ingredient than bioperine or black pepper because it's not blocking cytochrome P450 pathways, and it's also supporting gut inflammation and utilization on a GI level. It will also enhance liver detox pathways and supporting gut health, more importantly, reducing reabsorption of harmful estrogen metabolites. We also have ionic plex, fulvic acid. This is great, another absorption enhancer, hormone balance, estrogen detox, gut function. This is going to team up really nicely with the estrogen to be that 1-2 punch for absorbing, enhancing ingredients. So let's get back to big therapeutic buckets: hormonal balance and estrogen detoxification. The three ingredients we included in here that have the biggest therapeutic impact: caldiglucarate, DIM, sulforaphane. And what's really cool here is this trio at the dose and the forms included is what's going to make the difference of why you're turning to this formula. The second therapeutic big bucket: cellular detoxification and mitochondrial health. Yes, this formula can replace several formulas that your patients may already be on, therefore reducing capsule count and improving compliance and value financially. So here with cellular detox and mitochondrial health, the sulforaphane and the fulvic acid are what's making the biggest impact in this bucket. From there, we're talking about immune modulation and inflammation support. Astragalus, Panax notoginseng. So the astragalus and the RB1, this is what is trademarked as estrogen. This is the one we have the exclusive on for this combination, normalizing immune function, supporting gut health, and also reducing chronic low-grade inflammation. Healthy aging and stress, multiple ingredients hitting here: astragalus, Panax notoginseng, and fulvic acid. All about the HPA axis and stress recovery here. So in summary, 2 capsules, 1 gram of caldiglucarate, 300 DIM, activated sulforaphane with the added myrosinase enzyme, fulvic acid, and the astragalus ginsenoside RB1. Synergies: detox synergy, adaptogenic synergy, bioavailability, and cellular support to help hormone optimization in both your male and female patients. So I'm going to stop now. I tried to keep this within this time parameter, but to allow as many questions as you want. I'll repeat anything, we'll personalize the message, but I wanted to make sure we save time to hit on these questions. So let's take a look. On what the questions are. And if you joined us late, you can ask questions within the chat box. And so far, okay, we got the questions coming in. Also wanted to remind you that all of the formulas we went over tonight are available immediately through New Eras. So please lean on to that incredible team. We have everything in inventory ready to go with very fast turnaround time. So thank you to Emily and the team there for making this as easy as possible. First question that has been asked is the cancer correlation with BPC 157. Now, I have to preface, we can't make any cancer claims with anything that we spoke about tonight. You're going to read about some connections or correlations with BPC modulating angiogenesis, and that should be mindful. But the study that we highlighted tonight, that's just a few weeks old, talks about it's modulating angiogenesis in a healthy state. So with all that said, we still would not use BPC 157 in any active cancer. The rule of thumb that we hear talked about at CME programs is waiting for at least 5 years of a clean bill of health. But if you as the provider feel otherwise, or your collaborative partnership with other providers feel otherwise, you obviously have full reign to personalize that answer. Any medication for Alzheimer's, that's probably another webinar for another time, but there is a unique peptide called dihexa. Dihexa lion's mane is another ingredient that's been coming up. Ergothioneine and salithroside, uridine. These are all ingredients that can be found in one of our formulas called Neurogevity, which we just launched a few weeks ago. So I urge you to take a look at some of those ingredients to see if it checks what you're looking for supporting your patients. Next up was a recommendation of the dose of NAD for IV and IM utilization. I'm going to have to admit that is where I'll have to tap into New Era, whether live on this or to follow up with you on exact dosing protocols. So we'll table that question, but thank you for asking it. Next question will be, what would be the ideal treatment in combination with hormonal therapy for transition in the menopausal process? So daily DIM would be one that comes up, absolutely. If there is some additional sleep issues, that's very prevalent during the transition, sleepgevity may be another one to keep in mind. From there's so many different areas to come through. So what I would say is maybe identify the top 3 to 5 symptoms that might be happening, and I could follow up at a later date when you can provide that with additional support to help you and that patient. And then I'll wait a few more minutes to see if any additional questions will come in. Again, the formulas that we hit on tonight are BPC 157, specifically BPC, KPV, PEA 500, Cardio NAD, NMN 1000, Daily DIM, Sleepgevity, and Serenity. Those were the formulas we hit on this evening on the webinar. And just seeing again if any additional questions are being asked by a great turnout tonight. So thank you all again for taking time out of your schedule to be here. And again, if you just want to start somewhere, if you have not tried BPC 157 personally or with a loved one or even your trickiest patient, that's always a great place to start. A question that comes up a lot on the calls I do or at the medical conferences that we attend is, where do I start? And that's why New Era tonight selected these learning objectives as a great phase 1 integration into doing something, right? Supporting healthy NAD levels, supporting the body's natural healing mechanisms with BPC and things like KPV, and the role of a healthy gut that's correlated to so much. The role of a healthy sleep and deep sleep and repair and regenerating with that area. And obviously the power of DIM and that supportive cast and daily DIM for so many of your hormone optimization patients. So looking at any RX, yes, you can add prescriptions stacked with Sleepgevity, and at this point there's been no contraindications on who can't benefit with utilizing Sleepgevity. That's a formula that was designed to work on the first dose within 30 minutes or less. But sleep's complicated. There's not a solution. There's not one solution for everybody. So with that formula, that's why we did a 30 and a 60 count bottle. You have to be patient. Might take a few nights, but we give that formula out at medical conferences especially as doctors are flying different time zones, sleeping in a hotel, not their own bed. We have so many providers personally come back the next morning asking for more samples or just thanking us. They have the Oura Ring, they're tracking their sleep. They can see firsthand the quick difference that formula is making in an area where there's some things that don't work for anybody. So definitely keep that in mind. So I know I promised the New Era team I would keep this under an hour. We are under an hour. So unless there's another question or questions coming in, I think we'll end this on a high note. But if there's questions, if you're watching the stream, or if you thought of some questions after this ends, please just reach out to your New Era rep or their customer service team. They have multiple ways to get a hold of me. I promise you I will get you answers, get you references, whatever you need to integrate Healthgevity through New Era into your practice. We will be there. If you haven't been on the website yet, www.healthgev.com, you'll see the entire portfolio there. For those that came late and you're looking for the Healthgevity Institute with over 20 hours of expert-led education, that's Vimeo, vimeo.com/better health. You'll have access. You can identify by speaker, by topic, and just click play whenever you have the time. And there's some really great information on that peer-to-peer mentorship that we're working on. Next question that came in: any alerts in renal patients to use cardio NAD? And the answer is no. There's been no contraindications with that formula. The nanokinase is derived in an enzyme process through soy, so you will have a soy warning there, but that will be it with that formula. All right. So I wanted to thank Emily, Victor, the whole New Era team for making this happen. Hopefully it's the first of many webinars. We're in this for the long run. If there's topics that you want to see future webinars on, conditions, you just give us your wish list. We're here to build education that's most important for you on the front line, to advance your protocols, and so you can bring as much support to your community as possible. So on behalf of Healthgevity and New Era, my name's Michael Antonelli, and thank you again for joining us on this evening's webinar. Enjoy the rest of your day and evening. Be well.